you guys have an event coming up. Let's talk about the event and the celebration of Let's Get Free 25 years. Let's just get right into that, and then we'll talk a little more about it.
Hey, I mean, look, in Brooklyn, we touching back in hometown and ground zero, the center point of where we
Yeah.
created a lot of this legacy that Dead Prez carries in Brooklyn. So it's
Mhm.
only right that we bring it to Brick. Community organization, community based. You know what I mean? Supporting, this art and so many other arts in these ways. So on the 28th, we gonna pull up on that goddamn stage, man, and do what we do best, man. 25 years of Let's Get Free. Since we dropped it, it'll actually be 25 years plus about 2 weeks. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's that time, man, and I can't believe we're here. So, you know,
February 8th,
yeah,
2000.
yeah.
Now I will never forget where I was when this album came out and where I was in life. I was in a major transition period in my life, and I moved. That's when I first moved to New York.
Wow.
I moved right after probably March of 2000, and so this album was kind of like that
Like
was my
welcome
hype.
to New York. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
What a welcome.
exactly. Yeah, but it was a but Let's Get Free is a revolutionary album. And it's hard to even verbalize how important the album is, how dope it is, right? Like let's keep that in the front too. It's a classic project. But it moved us in ways that most music doesn't move us anymore. And it was a throwback type of album in terms of thinking about Public Enemy, X Clan, um, and it wasn't out of alignment with others like say Mos Def and Talib, but it felt a lot more aggressive to me,
Mm, mm,
which
mm,
was the time I was on as well.
mm.
Can you tell me what you guys were going through, what you were thinking, and actually the creation process?
I'll let you
Oh
do it,
man,
Stick.
man. My brothers, we had came up from Florida uh, to land a record deal and get in the game professionally,
Mhm.
and went through some stints of homelessness and not knowing what when the next nothing was going to be, and linked with Lord J from Brand Nubian.
Mhm.
And long story short, that's how we cracked off the first project. And we was in a state. I think I could speak for us both, but we didn't know if this was going to be our only record. You know what I mean? It was like give it everything you got,
Mhm.
say what need to be said. You know what I mean? Hold no punches, and
Mhm.
do it for the things that don't get said. You know what I mean? Really sacrifice that, kamikaze that shit. On
Mhm.
the industry, and so
Mhm.
that was the mentality. Like, and me and M have talked through the years about how Let's Get Free was kind of like a table of contents if in the book of Dead Prez. It was, when you open a book, it tell you we're gonna touch on all these things, what I mean, in the book. So when you look at the 14 tracks on Let's Get Free, you know, everything from the police state to mind sex to be healthy,
Mhm.
these were important chapters
Mhm.
in what we feel like is a part of growth and development and just revolutionizing ourselves. So, it's about getting that out, getting that knowledge into the hands of the people, and also inspiring people to see is some of us ain't scared of the smoke. Like we
Mhm.
actually can take this mic and speak to the real issues fearlessly and let it be said and felt and have an impact. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Best show.
Anything to
I
add on?
I agree. I
Yep.
just gotta agree. That's what we were feeling. And then you know. Brooklyn became the petri dish, and like so, we were transferring kind of this thing from the ancestors, and then we would bring in kind of what we all the work we had been doing outside of New York, which was really community revolutionary resistance work, and even working ourselves. Like we said, we were like, you know, one pistol shot away from not making it. You know what I'm saying, to New York. And I think, landing there and seeing people like,
Real.
Yassine, running into these brothers very organically, you know
Mm,
what I mean? Was really, it helped us really see that there could be some like-minded synergy, and camaraderie, even though, like you said, I mean, it's an interesting choice of words, aggressive. What we did have a sense of urgency, and I think that urgency was based on the fact that, like, I think what we feel now in terms of like the timing of, like, white power and its like looming effect on our lives,
yeah,
we felt it then. and
right.
and um and it was the urgency of the call. So I just want to add that on, man. It was a beautiful time to create, into that, and that, because you have to say what you're saying, like you mean it, and like Stick said, like we might not never get another chance to say nothing.
Yeah,
So